Welcome, welcome. It's Monday, new week. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. Thank you for joining. We're going to talk about some of the roster cuts. They've started to take place. Make sure you go visit the tracker, si.com/NFL/Lions. 18 cuts. Now, we're going to have a little bit of fun to start the show, just 2 minutes. If you guys want to have fun, go over to Pride of Detroit and ask them directly, how can we trust you when you just skipped over the fact that Doc reported a cut? Go ask them. They have 17 cuts. I have 18. How is that possible? Because I directly found out that offensive lineman Mason Miller had been waived. I found out directly. It's not that hard to figure out how I found out, but if their tracker doesn't have it, how can you trust them if they are not accurate? Let's go have fun with them. They're nice guys. But go have fun with them and ask them, does Mason Miller not get any love from you guys? Or is it the fact that the guy that put it out there you don't like? I'm not that hard to find. I'm pretty loud. One of your people should see it. Go ask them, why did you skip Mason Miller? There's 18 cuts. We're following them. Your friends over there only have 17. Why is that? It's okay. It's all good. But they are inaccurate because I directly reported a cut. So ask them, how can we trust you if somebody that clearly is there every day, you see me, I'm not a ghost, I'm not John Cena, I'm John Macaroon. But no, it's funny, man. I'm just having fun with them. You guys blew up my site, man. Thank you. I'm humbled. You came to the tracker. You came to all the stories. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And plus, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm checking everybody's tracker. I'm not just skipping every single person I've checked out. I have my 14 tabs opened. All the agents were texting me today. My phone is wild. Woo! And thank you guys for clicking on some of the ads. That's awesome. Get your questions in. We're going to talk about the two big ones. I know what you guys have been talking about. But ask them. Their tracker should have 18. And now I'm going to ask you a favor over the next 60 minutes. I am here. So I'm taking a break from tracking over the next hour. If somebody gets cut other than the 18 that are out there, the last one's Deion Jackson, Broderick Martin, Jacoby Keeney James, the wide receiver. If anything is out there, let me know. We'll get the tracker updated through my staff. But the next hour, I'm here. That's how it goes. You know, we'll talk about it. I know your guys' reaction. I know that the couple picks that you guys felt were a little bit surprising. I think that some of them might pave the way for some outside acquisitions. But, you know, it's a time to reflect and learn and talk about what's been going on. So the first one that everybody's talking about, we got to talk about it. It's not something you skip over. Hand pay energy, bring back Meeks. Now, people are wondering why. And when I spoke to another reporter in the press box, I had said that was fairly close, but Meeks had a great camp. So in mine, I didn't want to cut him. But I said to the reporter out loud, I said, I think Ty goes to Lovett. So Christian had Lovett in and Meeks out. I put Lovett in. Or excuse me, I put Meeks in because I wanted that Zadarius Smith. And I took out Nate Lynn to put Zadarius Smith. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. I reached out to the representatives and I've not heard back. Man, I text a lot of people. Thank you guys for all texting me back too. A lot of people lived up to their word and text me back. So it was awesome. Fun day, man, but tiring. Woo, but I got full energy. So we're about halfway there. 18 cuts, 34, 35 decisions they got to make. Lions said that they're going to. So what happened is the transaction wire happens every day at 4. And none of the cuts are on there. So they'll be on there tomorrow. But a lot of the players have been notified already, which is what Dan Campbell said. So is it a head scratcher? Are you guys upset that Meeks got cut? I felt like Meeks and Lovett, I thought Meeks slightly had a better camp But to the degree I felt Lovett over the last couple preseason appearances and practices, just a little bit better. And over the course, being that it wasn't significantly better from Meeks, I felt that, and I said to the reporter, I said, Ty goes to the draft pick. Draft picks are going to be hard for Brad Holmes to cut. He loves them. That's just the way it is. It's going to be tough. Now the question mark is going to be, does Meeks get claimed? There's a chance he does. Right now, of the picks that have been made so far that have been cut, I think that Meeks might be the one that gets a look. And we'll talk about the three big ones. Let me share these right now. Because remember, some sites are not declaring all 18 at the moment. And there could be more. If there are more, let me know. I'm going to share the 18. You know why? Because I put them out there. I've been typing away. I should share them. Because one is noticeably missing from a lot of these trackers. Why are they doing that? That's not ethical. That's not nice. You're not following the doc. That's not nice as an outlet. You're not doing your due diligence. So go over to Pride. Let's have some fun. Go over to Pride of Detroit and ask them, how come you don't know about Mason Miller? We'll have some fun with them. They're good people. Listen, they're probably willfully like, I don't want to see his stuff. The guy's an idiot. But ask, why don't they have Mason Miller on their tracker? I mean, I'm going to look at theirs and look at everybody else's. That's the job. But here is the tracker. All right. 18 names. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. From the time I started tracking them, here's the first handful. Pittman, Hooker, Kennedy, Agude, Kennelly, and this guy right here. Lions waive offensive lineman Mason Miller. It was reported when I found out. Which is the job. Text. Find out who's going to be there. Skipper, Meeks, Whiteside, Hallett, Luke Barco, Gunnar Oaks, Sailors, Jacoby Keeney James, Deion Jackson, Nate Lynn, Broderick Martin, and Miles Adams. So that's 18 that I know about right now. Some of them have just 17. Why did they only have 17? They must love that number. Go have fun. Ask them, why do you not know about Mason Miller? Hello and welcome. Smash the like button. We'll have fun over the next hour talking about these kind of important issues. I feel like the Meeks one could be one of those ones like Isaiah Williams last year. Felt like the Lions, that's the challenge when you have good players. But in the end, guys, look, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. All right? Jackson Meeks was not going to come on the roster and take it over. You got somebody that's going to do that. His name is Isaac Tesla, and he's got to jump Tim Patrick and Lovett. So I think that it's going to be okay. Maybe somebody else gets an opportunity with Jackson Meeks, but I think that it's going to be okay. The guy that, if he would have been on the roster, would have saw 10 catches for 150 yards at best. You're not targeting Meeks over Tesla. Full stop. I'm like, hey, 8 catches for Meeks. I need those to go to Tesla. Those could be end zone grabbing, explosive plays. I need them to go to Laporta, Gibbs, Montgomery. So it's okay. Meeks, how do you guys feel about it? I'm okay with the cuts that Brad Holmes makes. I'm not happy with his draft picks. 2023 has now become very concerning. You have not hit on some of those guys at the end of 2023. Bipolar, the most bipolar draft you might ever see, ever created. Welcome to those that are here. Smash the like button. We're going to have some laughs. And JMO, of course. Robert Edwards gets in. He knows what's up. He's like, Doc, thank you. He's like, I don't think all this Meeks talk is that big of a deal. Eric Taylor, Doc, Skip is gone. We'll talk about him. I don't think he's gone, per se. Nick Pete, do you guys think that Jackson Meeks gets claimed? I think Meeks gets claimed. A lot of good tape in preseason of him. Any super chats, get right to the front of the line. And you could ask me questions. Oh, look. See, I might have to look down because agents are texting me. Fun stuff. As we speak, I can tell you, they're nice people. Fun stuff. The Darius Smith agent won't text me back, though. I've been blowing up his phone for. The fun part is I always hope that I get the right person because I'm not the most efficient at like triple checking if the agent that I get listed is right. So I've texted the guy like 5 times. Hey, just checking in. Is the Darius coming back? Hey, just checking in. And he probably was like, who is this idiot? He texted me all day. The Lions are like, I can't believe I gave this guy my number. He actually uses it. He texts. He says hello. That's the job. I have 2 phones. What do you think? I'm going to pay the bill and not use it? Every reporter, you should just have fun with them and ask them, you got 2 phones? Why not? You handle everything from one phone? How do you text all the agents? How do you text all the players? I need 2. Whose agent should I text? Say, hey, get on here. How upset are you about Jackson Meeks not getting picked up? I'm not that concerned. I like the offense as is. We always got to get the Stoner's perspective. They can use Tesla and Patrick as a tight end also. That is a perspective. That's not going to happen, but what is interesting about Tesla is he's told me in the post game is that he definitely felt a lot more comfortable being on the outside. But a Stoner's perspective is welcome here too. You guys are fun. Throw out a comment. I just may read it to the 600 people in here. Smash the like button. So first reaction, Meeks, no problem. I don't have a problem. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. If he gets picked up, good on him. He already earned it. The first couple, now, the one that obviously needed to happen, happened quickly, reported quickly by a national outlet, but everybody knew. I mean, I had it ready. Like, guys, it's no happenstance. I'll tell you, honestly, I pre-wrote Martin and Hooker. They were already written, sitting just waiting until I confirmed it. That was not difficult to figure out. Martin and Hooker were getting cut. So the second it came out, boom, I had it ready. It was not difficult. I told you the cycle before it was over. You knew if you followed here, Hendon Hooker's days were numbered from the first day of OTAs. How frustrating is it now that it's over? I don't think he's going to come back to the practice squad. I would be surprised. I think a fresh start just might be the best thing for him. I would be surprised. But it might be one of those deals where I wonder if a team will pick him up. Will they make an effort to pick him up? I don't know. We shall see. I would be surprised, but, there's a chance for him. I just feel like he's got a couple more years of cooking he's got to do to get at a level where he can be on par and do what he's got to do. Yep. You know it. We wrote it. Ask them that question. Theo 99. Now they did say clearly they can't hide it. He could have been better in practice. I don't think they said he looked great. They said Theo 99, he was better than what he'd shown. Yeah, because what he showed before was challenging. He got the ball out a little bit better. Listen, I don't know. I have my own eyes. I trust my eyes. And I got new glasses coming in too. These are my number 2 pair. See? This is how you'd see me looking more sophisticated. This is maybe what I should do all the time on broadcast so people will respect me. Put me on their tracker, the doc. But I got some fly glasses. Got some Ray Jacksons and another pair. I have good eyes, but I need readers and bifocals. But maybe that's what it is. I have the extra set of eyes that I can see a quarterback. And I think the issue is really, if you ask me, what was my assessment different than theirs? Is because they compare the lines to themselves. I do not do that. Like I don't compare Hendon Hooker to Hendon Hooker. I compare him to a backup that can go in there and handle the job. And he didn't look like that. So maybe that was the difference. And I'm more critical. Period. Doc, you should smoke a pipe to improve your image. No, I just want to know you. Maybe we don't know. Maybe they have me blocked. I don't know. I don't talk to them too generally. Hey, how you doing, guys? Good. But ask him, why isn't Mason Miller on your tracker? He's a human. He's real. And a person like me reported it. Now I'm going to just air it out. Why don't you put it out? Why? You can't put, maybe because they can't put Detroit Sports Podcast on a website. Just put my name. You know who it's coming from. Let's have fun with it. You can trust the doc. But I don't know. Can you trust them? They're short. They're short a cut. Can you trust them? Why would they do that? Sorsdal's on the injured list. He's out for a long time. I'm sorry. He will not be playing for football for the Lions this year. But yeah, Hendon Hooker, what do you make now when it's official? Do you want him back on the practice squad? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm conflicted. Now, the one that has surprised a lot of people. Now, he's 30 years old. He didn't have a great camp, but he was, put in a tough spot. Dan Skipper, what's your reaction to the cut? I think that Jamarco Jones took a spot. Jamarco Jones had a good camp. That one was tough. That one I debated. I felt like Skipper had a little bit of an edge because he's been here, and I thought that he could fill the role, but he's a little bit older. Do I think Dan Skipper is a roster trick? It could be, but I think they want him back on the practice squad. I think you could find younger and better. Yeah, Nick P, you're probably right. That's probably the deal. I would think the replacement is Jamarco Jones. Nick P gets in. Jamarco Jones is a better player than Skip. What do you make of the Skip? Were you surprised? Were you a little bit disappointed? Were you in a position to say, man, this is a player that you've grown to respect because of the I did not declare eligible back in January of 2024. Did you lose your favorite offensive lineman that could get into the end zone? Big man touchdown. Listen, Dan Skipper is a nice man. Aggressive football player, but anytime that you can stand up in front of the media and be open and honest, gentle giant's how I called him. But there were times like, you knew that, okay, if I would respect guys that when there was tough questions, I could pull him to the side and talk to him. And he gave honest answers. And you got to respect grinders. I know it must have been tough. Tough for Dan. And when Dan has those bad days, you can see how much cutting Dan Skipper has to be tough because he's a grinder. And he was willing to do all those weird roster cuts in his stints here. He did anything the Lions asked for. So you give a man like that credit. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what the NFL means, is that there's somebody better, they take your job. Same in my business. If they find somebody younger, cheaper, handsomer, female, that can do the job like I do and get the numbers, they might replace me. But I own the podcast, so I get to be on the air forever. Yeah, I think so too. Skipper will be back on the practice squad. Hey, we got Eric. Make sure you ask Hefe. Hefe, this is the one I'm going to have fun with the most because I talked to Jeff. Hefe, you found new friends. And this is petty, but this is funny. This is how childish I am. Hefe, go on his show today because I will be grinding in the computer. Hefe, you've talked to Doc for a year and a half. Hefe. And when the 3 new friends you got told you Hendon's having a great practice, but the guy that you talk to directly and have his phone number tells you, let's look at the big picture, Hefe. This isn't right. He believed them. He literally wanted to argue, but he's having a good camp. That's what I'm reading. And I said, okay, you have to parse the words here. He may be having some good practices. He might be having some good moments, but he was still not leading touchdown drives. He was not making my list. So go ask Hefe, why did you diss Doc? Because he's humble and now is a guy that understands the totality, but you found new friends and you disregarded his, you just took out his opinion. And so that you would go on the air and tell debate your co-host that Hendon Hooker's having a good camp and good practices. We'll have fun with that. Now, if I was a true mean person, I would be like, go on X or go on a podcast and be like, that's a really bad take, Hefe, to talk about Hendon Hooker in a way that misleads people, Hefe. But I get it. You know, that's why I'm the lone wolf. I talk to myself and I talk to other people. The lone wolf thinks outside the box. Listen, I was scared day one. Now that's extreme, but I have high standards, very high standards. That's why a podcaster's covering NFL. You got to have high standards. You can't go, wow, he got the ball out. He's having a good camp. Wow. No, I need some touchdowns. I need some more. So make sure you go tell Hefe, why did you disrespect Doc's take? But we can say this on air. Booner was on the right side of history, not Hefe. Hefe jumped to the other side, made new friends. And I'm kidding around, guys. This is funny, you know. It's funny when you can air this stuff out. It becomes even funnier when you say it out your mouth. He made new friends and disregarded my takes. Again, I just want to see one. One of you asked Pride of Detroit, why won't you track Mason Miller? Don't you respect him? He's a player on the team. You know, he was a third stringer. Their tracker's not accurate. Maybe you can't trust them. Can you trust somebody that just willfully omits and doesn't look? Ask, well, if you didn't go to John or follow him, why wouldn't you? He's a beat writer. Don't you trust him? It's because they're Michigan guys. E and J are Michigan. They thumb their nose at the Doc. Maybe. We joke around. We have a good time with it. Friendly. But on that note, I don't like that. Because I want to read my name on your site. But no, because I did a lot of work just to get that one contact. Man, it's a lot of work. This NFL stuff is a lot of work. This is my fun. Anybody else released besides Deion Jackson and the latest? Anybody else? You're still on 18? But ask them, why did they disregard Mason Miller? He's been released. 1,000% book it. And if he goes on the practice squad, I will be the first to know. Now, if I just maneuvered my way for more, I could bring more information. Exactly. That should be the message to him. Shame on you, Hefe. Doc's opinion's valid. Jeff went to the mountains and meditated. Now he knows better. Who dat? Listen, we have fun with them. Listen. When you make new friends, you get all excited. You make new friends. Doesn't mean you kick the opinion of the guy that's been on your show for a year and a half out the window. I can't believe I wrote a column. I still can't believe I wrote a column. I'm concerned about Hendon Hooker on day one of OTAs. I can't believe it. Is there a quarterback that got released? I saw somebody went for the Eagle. I think the Eagles backup. They said, hey, he's 22. Get after it. Is there a backup that's gotten released that you like? Who did he opine for? Kyle McCord. You like him? I haven't, like I said, I feel like Kyle Allen. Is there anybody that Bailey Zappi? Is there a name that you could get to be on this roster as a practice squad guy? Did it really look that bad? That's a good question. Go read my column. If you Google it, it is Lions may need 2 new backups. What I was concerned about was not even the passing. The first day, there was procedural stuff. Couldn't get the ball snapped, and there were multiple issues that I felt like at this point in time should not happen on day one. Like, you can at least snap the ball, not drop the ball. A little bit more crisp command. I was looking for command, not even passes. I was looking for command. Like, just look like how I look now when I talk. I command the microphone. I command these 1,000 people to at least acknowledge the things I'm saying. They may not like it. They may not command it. Now imagine if I was just going like, and making you guys bored out of your mind. You would dip. Instead, the numbers keep growing. You got to command something. He wasn't commanding it the first day. It got better, but he didn't look like he commanded anything. So he's got a ways to go. I do think he's got it in him. Maybe when he turns 30, a couple more years of cooking. But this is the NFL. Can't be looking like that in preseason games and not score a lot of points. So Hooker, not great. Broderick Martin, guys. And here's the thing. I hope you guys realize now that these have been addressed with the Lions. I asked Ray Agnew. I said, hey, we're noticing you're taking a lot of developmental guys. This was not this last time. The last talk we had, 2 talks with we talk with Ray every year around this time, maybe the talk we have on Thursday. So 2 years ago, I said, hey, you're taking a lot of guys that are developmental. He's like, listen, we believe in the coaching staff to develop them, and every player to some degree is a developmental player. But that was wrong. Brad Holmes made a mistake, 2 mistakes. Broderick Martin and Hendon Hooker were mistakes. If you had 2 players that are ready to go, they could be on your team now, maybe filling a need where you're not having to go get Zadarius Smith. That's a mistake. You need one of those. And maybe you could even argue Manu's a mistake. Not that he might not end up being a good player, but this is a win now time. This is not play around time. This is get after it time. This is make your move. And now I got mad too. You know where I got mad? I got mad. I wanted to enjoy the Dallas Cowboys. I wanted to enjoy the Dallas Cowboys 8-part episode. I got into the 3rd episode and I got livid in my own head. It's great. The first 3 episodes is great. Then they had to go talk about the team that was being built. How I felt like, oh, wow, my brain went to, man, maybe the 23 Lions were the 91 Cowboys. Man, they got their tail kicked in. 91, remember? Burline led them in, and we kicked their tail in at the Silverdome. I'm like, oh, man, maybe that's the Lions. They're on the upward track. And then as they're building, they went out and got Charles Haley. And the stuff that was being said on that, I can't even repeat it. But when you watch it and they describe what he did on the desk of the GM, I mean, I don't know how you guys surmise this, and let it out. Charles Haley ended up on the Cowboys. They went and got Dion. They went and got guys with big personality and big talent. So I got mad. Because Dan was asked again today, hey, are you going to change how you view character? And he's like, no. If we don't like you for your character, you're not coming here. Charles Haley did not have character. And they descriptively, explicitly talked about what he did with the 49ers. I was shocked. They were like, and Jerry Jones was beautifully saying it. He's like, you don't win football games with choir boys. You need some ruggedness. You need some talent. And I just kept saying, you need some ruggedness. You need some more defensive ends. You need more. So that's my viewpoint. Just get more talent. And Broderick Martin didn't end up being that rugged kind of guy. I'm not sure what they saw. Hendon Hooker, what did they see? I feel like they felt like they saw an opportunity for the coaching staff to take something and move it to a different direction, but they just You can't have projects that don't end up working out. That's 3 players. Manu, Martin, and Hooker, you took risks on when you had a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't know. But again, we always will credit Brad Holmes for the ones he got, for sure. But the ones that he didn't, in this case, might have been a little bit too ambitious. And I'm okay with that, where people say, hey, you got to tell someone to scale it back as opposed to being, not innovative or not thinking outside the box. But Mr. Brad Holmes, scale it back. Get proven talent that can play ball moving forward. I think they've realized their mistake. Mr. Brad Holmes, I think you understand. You know what you're doing way more than I do. But Detroit doesn't like that. We don't want projects. Not at this level. Not when we're this close. Give me the finished product. And here's the thing. This is the best way to put it. When I go to a restaurant and the waiter comes over and he comes over with the staffer and is like, hey, I'm teaching this person, I get upset. I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that person, watching over you and being all part of it. I just want the professional waiter to come serve me. I don't want to see you and your assistant and trailing behind you, watching you take my order. Do the training somewhere else. Not with the doc. I just want the professional waiter who knows how to get the order and writes it down and can help my wife, because God help her. She's like, I'd like the lettuce I'd like the salad with the no tomatoes, no onions, mustard on the side, and a little bit of salt, a little bit of, I'm like, honey, they are never going to remember that. And this is never going to be right. Stop doing that. Can you just go with one change? Nope. My wife goes with 9 changes. And then they're surprised they didn't get it right. So Mr. Bradley Holmes, please, no more projects. No more projects for this roster. Proven talent. Am I wrong? Theo agrees. Theo 99. How big of an impact are the misses of Broderick Martin and Hendon Hooker? It's impactful. Hendon Hooker looked good because of the gimmicky Tennessee offense, Andrew Jones. It was a one-read offense. It wasn't sophisticated enough to come into a passing offense that was going to be elaborate that Ben Johnson was running. Now you got to ask this question. Are you concerned about the way the Lions develop quarterbacks? 21, 22, 23, 24. It's a rotating list of backups. I am slightly concerned. I mean, the more names get put on the list of guys that don't contribute, this one might be a hit. This one, Kyle Allen, might be enough to make up for it. Might get the extra credit to make up for all the 6 others that didn't do the job. And remember, Brad Holmes is still above board regarding being a general manager. Oh my goodness. We're thankful that he brought in a great head coach to understand culture, but there's still the fine point between being an A student and an A++ student. To get the pluses, you need the Super Bowl. And you still don't have a Super Bowl. We're still starving here. We're still wannabes. The Lions are still wannabes. And I would like those 3 picks to be 3 productive guys. Manu, imagine somebody else going in the second year. Broderick Martin, somebody else, play alongside Tyleek. Those developmental projects, 3 of them, could have been used for the roster right now. They're important. Draft picks are important. So I don't think they're going to be risky anymore. All right. What do you guys think about Nate Lynn? I had him out as well. But I was trying to make way for Za'Darius. Am I wrong? Is it based on the move? I think somebody else is coming outside the organization. You don't have enough pass rush right now. Right? Felt like there was more moves to be made. I'm just doing the quick natural check here of any more moves that were made. My guys are on it. Oh, you guys are starting to notice the bipolar Oh, you know what? I want to. Someone opined. Very interesting. See, this is where I think differently. You've been given. This is where I think differently with a beat writer, and I don't know how they think like this. It's very interesting. Very interesting response, and it goes to I'm curious how you guys think. It comes from the Lions fan report. Very interesting tweet, and a very interesting response from a beat writer. I think if I go to the beat writer, I'll find the other guy's tweet. Very interesting discussion to have here for a few minutes. And I think it just goes to mindset. I don't think there's right or wrong, but I'll let you guys shape the opinion. Because that 23 draft is starting to be looked at. We'll share the screen here. I found my man Nolan. Good guy, great storyteller. Now he says hi to me. We're good. After he showed up and did the charity game for Vito. I'm gonna give Vito credit too. His charity game raised a record amount of money for him. Man, Vito, I'm proud of you. If you're watching, Vito, I'm proud of you, man. You crushed it. Now, Lions fan report gets in. Let me just triple check that you guys are seeing this as I'm seeing this. Okay, I'm going to blow it up here. Brad Holmes had the most generational first 2 rounds and the most forgettable draft after that. Look at this draft. It's bipolar. It's truly bipolar when you look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Hits on Gibbs. Campbell trending upwards. Great player. Ascending. Sam Laporta. Brian Branch. 4 amazing players. They were like, we good. They forgot Sunday. Sunday, was it the coaching staff and the front office day of rest? Day 3. Oh my goodness, I need a break. Look at this. Might blow my top. Hendon Hooker, Broderick Martin, Kobe Sorsdahl, Antoine Green. You just needed one more. One. Can we just, football gods, give us one? 68, not going to hit. 96, you moved into a top 100 for Broderick Martin. It didn't work out. Kobe Sorsdahl injured. He's also somebody that they tried. I just feel like they should have just gave him one position and let him excel at it. Said they moved him over 5 positions. I don't know if it's one of the deals where he couldn't master any of them, but I feel like he could have been, if you just put him at one spot and say, work on it for 3 years, he would have been something. Antoine Green, you always give the 7th rounders, they're the hardest to evaluate. So you get a pass. It's these 3 picks right here. Good Lord. But look at the response. And I think this is where the beat writers get a little wrong. If you told a GM they could have this exact haul going into a draft or roll the dice and just see what they get, most GMs are taking this draft and sleeping very well at night. No, they're not. And here's why. Most GMs don't have rings. Most GMs want most of their draft picks to be successful. So we now have answers to some of these. I think it's fair for these beat writers to acknowledge that, hey, man, if you just, okay, Hooker, you thought something. Okay. The other 3, you just need one to hit. One. You need more. Look what happened last year. A lot of your players get hurt. You need guys to step up. These are the guys that end up coming from these type of picks. It literally, Eric Taylor's right, half and half draft. It's literally amazing 4, bottom 4, fall off the map. I feel like I would argue with Nolan, you just got to give me one more. 5 of 8 for a team that's on the rise. Now, maybe average GMs that can only get 2, but we're talking about Mr. Bradley Holmes, the standard. So here's how I would encapsulate sharing this. All right. Mr. Brad Holmes is, I think, creme de la creme of what he does. The top 1% of people that do his job. Now, we give him the respect that he's in the 1%, but he also has to get better. We don't just go, Brad, you're good for the rest of your career. You are just set in stone. Do what you do. You also got to push him to make this football team a sustained winner and get them to be a multiple-time Super Bowl winner. You need to demand greatness out of Brad Holmes. You demand greatness. Okay, he gets us a Super Bowl. Okay, I want 2 or 3 like the Chiefs. And how do you get sustained success? The more draft picks you get. You can't whiff on 50% of a draft. You're allowed to whiff on 35% when you're close. That's it. That's just the way it is. You have to have high standards. Well, everybody else, I don't care about everybody else. I care about the Lions. I care about their 3 projects. I don't care about the other 31 GMs. Stop comparing Brad Holmes to others who can't sniff what he does. He's in a class by himself with like the top 5 GMs in the league, but he might be the 5th. We need him to be the best. And he's right there. He's ascending. And I think once you stop doing the project thing, you automatically get better. Get guys that can ball. Levi too. Levi was a risk. Yeah, that goes into the guys that were injured. I think he's going to learn. And then you get some people that are just like, Brad can do whatever he wants. No, Brad cooks, but sometimes he burns the meal. He cooks 7 meals, he burns a couple. But I want to look at some of the ones he burnt. What did he do? Was the heat too high? Did he trust the wrong people? You always got to look at those things. But remember, you got to give him credit. Give him credit for getting the Lions where they're at. But we need more. You got to demand more. More wins, more playoff wins, more Super Bowl appearances and wins. And so I hope the Lions are on the cowboy track. Man, that's a great show. I hope they're on the cowboy track. They were ascending. They went 11-5 in 91. They got their tail kicked in. That's the Washington game for us. The embarrassing Washington game. Then they went out next year and reloaded, and everybody got better. Man. Guys, I mean, I'm going to say it because I just thought it, but it might not be exactly applicable. But damn near was I thinking about J-Mo watching Michael Irvin dance in the end zone. I was like, that's J-Mo. That's J-Mo. And I was thinking of Troy Aikman and Jared Goff. I'm like, we got a big 3. Jahmyr Gibbs, we got our trio. But I need J-Mo to kind of, what I said when I first started covering J-Mo, I said, I want J-Mo to be like Irvin. He was like, get me the ball. When Aikman went down, Irvin's like, you want to stay in this league? Steve Berline, throw me the ball. Beautiful, beautiful. Man, it got me hyped. I hope J-Mo can become like that. Steal the targets from Amon-Ra. Get the ball. Get the ball to J-Mo. Goff, if you want to stay in the league, get the ball to J-Mo. So the early cuts have been normal to me. I feel like Skipper, I'm not shocked by because of his elevated age. I'm not terribly uncomfortable with the move so far. Meeks might be the one. Meeks might be the one that might go somewhere else and get an opportunity early on. So are we still at 18 cuts? Anybody else? I trust you guys. You can trust me. Up until we started, I had 18. So yeah. So slow down. That's fair. I like that. That's a perfect pace. Broderick, Dan, man, this whole camp has been perfect for the way I report. It's not crazy. I could have wrote Meeks, but he's undrafted, and you guys were blowing up the Hendon story. I didn't want to take away from that. So early thoughts are, these are normal cuts. What are the toughest decisions left in your mind? Let me look here at some of these. Let me get here to Christian. Actually, I think in the end, listen, I'll share with you. I went dreamer status on my 53 man. He went more professional, and I'm glad we did. Christian's was more professional than mine. Mine was more dreamer, but it's fine. I'm pretty close. I had Nate Lynn out. I picked Kennelly because I thought overall his camp was a little bit better than Strickland, but Strickland came on like a like a final exam warrior. And he won the job on Sunday. He won the job. So I was wrong there. And Christian was wrong too. He had Kennelly in as well. Or actually, sorry, I'm reading mine. His is right. I'm reading mine again. His was really good, but I'm happy with that. Are you okay with Kennelly not being on the roster? Early thoughts. I think he'll be on the practice squad. I think he's definitely going to be motivated, super motivated. I think Mason Miller, Dan Skipper, I think Mason Miller has a chance. They moved him to guard. He showcased that, hey, he's comfortable and can make some plays. He was one of the highest PFF graded players in a game. So if he doesn't get claimed, I think Mason Miller has one of the 16 spots as well. He's been here and can do some things. So where are the battles? So let's see. Quarterback's over. Running back. Do you think Vaki, listen, and please, when we put on a 53-man projection injured, that means they're going to be on the team, but on a list. So they're still part of the team. I think some people misconstrued and said that I felt that I kicked Sione Vaki to the curb. I did not. I'm trying to maneuver an extra spot by putting Vaki on an injury list, but have him out for the first month. But I don't know. It sounds like he's got maybe a shorter term injury than maybe even 4 games. So it looks like Vaki might get the spot. Gibbs, Montgomery, Reynolds, Vaki is what a lot of writers had. I'm down for, a little downtime for Vaki and get one more spot on defense. Seems like they went a little bit lighter on defense. Are you okay with 6 wide receivers? It's 6, clearly. St. Brown, Jamo, Tim Patrick, Coliff, Tesla, and Lovett. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The tight ends, I think, are set. Laporta, Wright, Zylstra. I mean, offensive line, it might be a decision between Nice, Awosika, Kingsley, Egwakun battling. Nice, I think, is going to be on the wrong end. I think they're going to keep Coyote, Awosika, and Kingsley as the backup. And then you always have the rookie in Tate Ratledge. So I'm not seeing, it's close. Ukwu, Agude, Nate Lynn, we had that. Reeder, Lopez, Tyleek Williams, Mekhi Wingo, Pat O'Connor. So really, there's just a handful of ideas. Probably the biggest decisions are going to be, I also was correct on Hallett. Me and Christian felt like Hallett was good, but not to the degree of maybe some depth that you could have somewhere else. So it's going to end up being, I think, a pretty standard where most of the beat writers are going to have at least 95% of the information accurate beforehand. All right, guys, there's 1,000 people in here. Much respect. I love that. Thank you. Hit the likes across 2 platforms, X and here on YouTube. Man, that's awesome. Thank you. You guys trust me. That's all I care about. But the other people still haven't looked. You guys haven't told them enough yet. My only favorite today is go over to Pride of Detroit and ask them, how come you won't acknowledge Mason Miller? You forget about him as a person? You don't like the name? Mason Miller has been waived. Zach Johnson added to the list. All right. That's 19. We knew that. I mean, a lot of the rest of them are going to be, maybe only going to be 5 that could be close. So I chose broadcasting over. I said, stop. Okay. I usually have a limit. I don't text agents past like 6. I get tired. I mean, probably that's the best time. That's probably why I get tired. And, you can only text 20 people and get 1 response back or 2 responses every day. It's kind of fun. They're like, this guy won't stop. But we have a lot of fun conversation when I get to see him. It's a fun job, man. This job is fun. They both have great skills. I thought Meeks was athletic. I thought he brought, a lot of what you would like in terms of explosiveness. Definitely some opportunities to improve route running and consistency. But again, it's hard. It's hard to jump a draft pick when you're working with the second and third team. But I think he's going to have a chance. like Isaiah Williams. Isaiah caught on somewhere else and is thriving. His name was brought up by beat reporters like, oh man, he's starting to thrive elsewhere. It's just tough because that's what it means to raise the floor. None of these guys are better than Tesla. None of them. So sorry, guys. Tesla is the standard. And guys, the fourth wide receiver only gets 20, 30 catches a year, but they could be impactful. So we'll see if Tesla jumps over Patrick sooner rather than later. We could maybe see 40 to 50 catches from Tesla. Why not? Dan Campbell said there's a chance to get him in early. I think that you guys are going to make the noise louder for Tesla to play if the offense starts slow. I'll make the noise. I'm not stirring the pot. CTS Squid. Cartier's not a troll. What you guys doing stirring the pot? I thought I was a troll. Doc is just stirring the pot. No, these are discussions. Football is great because you can open your mind to a lot of discussions. And if other people aren't having them, I'm having them because I just air out what's in my head. And sometimes we talk our way through it. Sometimes we're right. Sometimes we're wrong. But the blessing is talking ball. Man, CQ, that's really nice. Let's first start with Cartier. Cartier's nice. He has ideas. What is he saying that you don't like? I haven't seen it because you guys are commenting at a faster rate than I can see them. That really means a lot. I mean, you could change your profile pic, but that's fine. CQ Waterfrog, thankful for the doc live for my late drive from Michigan to Pittsburgh. Daily, if you want to recap yesterday's, I was on yesterday too. I've gone now. This is my 37th straight day. 37 straight days to prove to you that I can trust that to you guys, you can trust me. So go ask Pride of Detroit, why don't you put a report from the doc on your tracker? Because can you trust somebody that omits something right in their face? Can you trust them? Yeah, you can trust them. You can trust them to leave out all the bad news. The Lions are getting sued. You can trust them to leave out all the stuff that's not prideful. But hey, I would leave that out too. That's not prideful. But I think it's just going to be taken care of quickly. Check it out on our site, Lions on SI. We write everything. We don't try to censor it. If it's newsworthy and interesting, we'll post it. And we'll do it the right way. We'll get comment and figure out what's going on. Someone did something allegedly at the Lions that maybe not on the up and up. Allegedly. We'll see how it ends up shaking out. Don't post Jared Goff photos because California people will sue you. But how do you trust people that omit news? I trust them for the most part. But I still don't know. What is it? I want them to say, Doc, you're a troll. You're a lazy troll, Doc. I want them to say it to my face. Doc, we don't even know. We don't even follow you. We didn't even know you even reported anything. Well, that's on you. That's wrong. Because you see me every day. El Guapo, $2. Doc, I got my draft today. Any sleepers you like? Tesla, late round. Get after it. Make sure you get them. I'll share maybe tomorrow my fantasy team. Luther Burden. I know I hate to say it, but guys with proven minds that put up numbers, you got to think about. No, not CNN. I think that the reason is it's because I went to state and they look down on me. They don't feel like I belong. Well, I say you don't belong. That's how we're going to play that game. No, listen, I'm saying this lightheartedly, but it's funny to say because I feel like to do the due diligence, I'm looking at A to Z, Free Press, News, all the beat writers. I don't skip them. How do you do the job and skip one? How do you do the job properly if you skip a whole person? And I'm a loud person. A person doesn't care anymore. How are you going to skip me? And that they know I'm a Pisces? We're sensitive. We're going to air it out. That's what's going to be the Daily Show. Doc just airs it out. All his feelings, all his pent-up anger, you're just going to air it out because I don't care anymore. I've already made it. You guys know. Tell you every day. I'm going to just air it out. No, it could be as simple as lightheartedly. They just said, that guy's too crazy online. We can't follow him. He says the wildest stuff on there. We can't follow him. But that's still wrong. One of your 9 people that work for you or your 14 people that you're giving beer money to should at least say, hey, Doc reported someone got cut. We have the staff of 19 writers. Not one of them will write a bad thing about the Lions. They will, to a degree. But the sue word, if someone's suing the Lions, they're going to skip that. Zadarius Smith. I probably am going to keep talking. I'm enjoying myself. There's 1,000 people in here across 2 platforms. That's really nice. Thank you. I'm really humbled. Smash the like button. Vito does not write hit pieces. Vito is truly keeping me in line. The only reason I'm employed with a credential for 7 years and not thrown off the map is Vito. He's kept it in line, and now he's like, okay, Doc, you've reached the top. I mean, you can just say whatever. It does not matter to me. I think I've made it pretty clear. It's just funny to think about because I'm the kind of guy that I always explore, because I'm a psychologist. The psychologist brain is a brain. I wish it's helpful for a lot of people, but it's wrong because you're always asking why. And none of the answers make me feel good. Why would somebody disregard somebody doing work that you've seen for 7 years? Why would you do that? Why would you say publicly that you don't trust me? Because I'm a rebel. I'm not a rebel. I'm just a regular guy just enjoying sports and enjoying the blessing of talking to people and having fun with it, not being stuffy. There are some things everybody does I like. There's some things everybody does I don't like. That's all. I don't ignore people. If we ignore him long enough, he'll go away. The problem is it's like a double-edged sword. The more you ignore me, the more pissed off I get and the more successful I get. That's the problem. Is I got that gene. I'm not happy. Steve knows, 15-year listener. No, I'm just, it's just because you just go through and you just look and it's something to talk about. Mike, I've been given a complaint level. So if anyone's watching on this thing, the trust thing, the complaint's a 2, a 1. It made me successful. I use that for motivation. How the hell did a podcaster break news? That's not supposed to happen to some degree. So I'm just taking my little wins as possible. I want the most attention for it. That's all. It's a 1. It's helped me. It's just funny. The whole dynamic. Michigan guy, state guys, Michigan State guy, professional, upstanding guys, rogue, loudmouth podcaster. Lebanese Lebowski. All right. And now, for the next 10, 15 minutes, are you happy with the general nature of how the Lions are going to be constructed? I am. Offensively, defensively, I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to overreact to moves now because Brad's going to find some players to upgrade this team. The moves I think they have, the 22 starters are amazing. The question marks are going to be at depth. These are question marks that we don't know just yet. But I feel like from what we saw in camp, you're moving on from people that are not going to contribute, and you have talent. And always, too, around the 48th or 50th spot, there's going to be always guys shuffling in. Practice squad guys, evaluations. J-Melts, no worries. Tell them. Tell them, why did you dump Doc the second you made new friends? He's sensitive. Ask him that. And then also, too, for fun, if you make a priority over one or two trolling things we're going to do today from this show, one, priority, go and troll Hefe and ask him why he dumped the Doc and praise Booner. And two, if you feel the need, ask him, why would you guys, you first go confirm that I did report that Mason Miller got waived, and then ask other people, why did you ignore it? That's all. Then they're going to be like, Doc, why did you say that? I said, because I'm sensitive. I'm Pisces. I gave it 7 years for you guys to acknowledge me. Now I'm just going to tell you to acknowledge me. I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm here. I'm going to do a daily show, and I'm going to have it, just do it for the fun of it, and I'm going to complain, and I'm going to be loud, and to a professional degree, entertaining, and I'm going to talk with you guys. You guys like it, so I'll do it. And then when they tell me, hey, stop it, I'll be like, this is what the Lions told me. They said, stop with the complaints. I said, all my complaints are like a 3. The one, I think, got to a 6, was the leaving. Half of us had to leave and a couple stayed. That was my only real complaint. Of the whole camp was perfect. The whole camp gave me more energy. I'm trying to rack my brain on how to not do 7-day-a-week podcasts. That's how much I could do this. I could cover the team and do a 7-day-a-week podcast for 2.5 hours. That's how much I got to say. He's still salty about Hendon? He can't be. One of you guys go rat over there and come back here. Don't tell him. Go spy on him and come back and tell me. Is he trying to make excuses and talk his way out of it? Oh, I didn't really say that he's having a good practice. I thought he was just having I was just saying that we got to acknowledge that he was better. The training camp loved Doc. He was there and chilling like a villain. Tony G, my man. It's good to see you. See, people making moves. Raiders got Pickett for a 5th rounder. Are you guys liking so far the way in which this roster starts to look? Vito did a great piece today. The 5 lessons that we've learned about the Lions. Isaac Tesla, J-Mo, St. Brown, the offense, the defense is playing well. Let's also, with our last maybe 10, 15 minutes, we'll see how long I go. I got energy for days. I really don't want to cut into Hefe's show. I really respect those guys. Those guys, let me tell you something. I'm not going to say which one of them. Those guys are doing it the way they should. They pester my ass all day, every day. To the point where I want to say, guys, I'm also doing the same thing you're doing. But I love it because they care. Like, you guys can't text me that much, bro. I'm trying to text other people. I'm trying to actually, I should have said, guys, you're my source. But I will share to let you know how I am. I had 15 tabs open. I'm going to try to name them all to give you guys all respect to show you how crazy I am. I had Dave Burkett, Justin Rogers, Nolan Bianchi, Ben Raven, Corey Woods. That's 5. Pride of Detroit, A to Z Sports, Dave Burkett, like I said, Justin Rogers, like I said, ESPN's Eric Woodyard. I had Jordan Schultz. I had Adam Schefter, Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero. Everybody that would have any information, I opened their tab. Jeremy, Eric. That's it from them. Because if there's any information that I wanted to get, I wanted to give it to you guys. I didn't skip anybody. Anybody that had a inkling of information, I would definitely have them up on my screen and refreshing. And then all the agents that I was texting. That's how you got to be. I don't like that guy, skip him. We just talk a little junk. Art Vandelay, don't love the Meeks move, but I get it. Okay, so we've done a global assessment. Doc's ranted. What is it about Meeks getting cut bothers you guys? You just feel like there's an inkling of talent that's going to go somewhere else and make the Lions pay? What is it about the Meeks cut bugs you? And also, I had Crunch Time Sports and the Detroit Times and Woodward Sports. So those are the 18, 19 tabs I had open. I had Booner and Hefe's stuff up because I did go across the street for like 5 minutes and get myself a sandwich. And I said, hey, I know that one of these 19 people will have some news if I need to take a break. I didn't skip anybody. What is it about the Meeks pick and cut that has you guys a little bit upset? Who's going to take over backup left tackle since they cut Skip? All right. That's a good question. I hate to say it, guys, but another guy that's going to be here is Giovanni Manu. There might be somebody else, too, brought to the roster. You got Taylor Decker, Jamarco Jones, and probably you're going to make a move outside the organization. Trades are happening. Looks like Vikings and Colts. So your answer is Manu at this moment, but I feel like they go outside the organization. And maybe they will have Dan Skipper on the practice squad just in case. Because you can call him up if he's there a couple times. But I don't think that Manu is going to play a whole heck of a lot this year. I would be surprised. I respect that. Ole. Meeks was better than Lovett, so I feel injustice has been done. Also, I like anything that could help us land Za'Darius. That's why I love you guys. You guys are smart. Succinct, gets right to my brain. I understand it. You feel injustice. Dan and Brad say that if you're better, you're on the team. But I think Lovett brings a little bit more value and brings a little bit more upside right now. I think he also, in the battle, right at the end, it was right before this final week, Meeks would have been just ahead. But as this week happened and Lovett made more plays, was pretty decent throughout the last couple weeks, I feel like he jumped just ahead. And I told the reporter, it was great. Right after the game, a reporter asked me, John, what do you think about what happened? I said, between Meeks and Lovett, tie goes to Lovett. That's what I felt. Why do you think Meeks was better? Look at Eric getting after it. Doc watching Crunch Time on TV and you on the phone. It's crazy. Give those guys a shout out. Remember, tell Hefe, why did you skip the Doc's opinion? Yeah, the coaching staff likes Lovett better. And remember, draft picks, I was told this too. It was great. I've always gravitated toward people that do think outside the box. And I work with this for a little bit of time. I'll share a little bit of a story. He was a former scout with the Jets. He got on SI. He wrote a little bit, and his name was Daniel Kelly. He's outside the box, and he was just very bold in his takes. And he never rubbed me the wrong way, but he got fixated on just the same take and then saying it over and over and over and over and over again to the point that it got repetitive. And I said, hey, man, all you got to do is say your take once, defend it. Okay, but it can't be a 20-day streak of you saying the same thing. He kept doing it. I said, all right, man, it's a little loud, but he taught me a lot. He's like, just in general talking about how, listen, when you do all that work, scouting somebody, you're putting in time, miles, money, flights. So it's very hard. It shapes your perspective of, hey, this guy kind of belongs here. We scouted him. We picked him. So it's kind of like you have to really bomb out to not make a team if you're drafted. 7th rounders are always tough, because those are picks that kind of can be moved on from. But Brad's more loyal to them because he trusts the process, and there's so much work, so much time in. So I feel like, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Jay Cruzen, can you say a little bit more stuff so I get more content? All these guys copycat what I say at the NFL. Yeah, say more good stuff. I might add you to the list. Detroit fan man, great comments. Why Meeks over Lovett, even past draft picks? It's easier to find 5'9" guys instead of a 6'2" guy. Meeks is also like 30 pounds heavier. You like his stature. You like the bigger, taller. Understood. I get it. It makes a lot of sense. Special teams. They also, maybe we can all blame Dave Phipp. Dave Phipp might have been like, I like this guy. Love it. Tony G gets in. Skipper's got practice squad written all over him, unless the Bears or the Jets grab him. I feel like he's going to stay and be comfortable. No, I know. Doc, I'm joking, brother. Doc, it's hard to talk to you and Jeff at the same time. It is. So you talk to them once, and you come back over here and blow up our chat. Hit the like button. Or you leave a $5 super chat and you can just drop out. I know you did your due diligence. You watch it. You'll come back and watch it. We won't say nothing bad about you. But drop a super chat and you can freely cut us off. Ask Hefe, can he confirm what Booner said on last Wednesday's show that he did the windmill in the mountains? That's what Booner said. Doc says, so next, if you hop over there, you say, guys, Doc said that Booner said they did the windmill in the mountains. I'm talking about the windmill. You know what I'm talking about. I said that to Booner, and the look on his face is like, I just, it's great. Doc said that Booner said you were doing some weird stuff in the mountains, Hefe. Tony G, my man. Best analysis on the Lions on the planet right here with Dr. Football. Tony Guerrero. Tony Guerra. Tony G, my man. I got a lot of respect for you. Thank you so much for understanding what this is. It's fun. It's the way to let loose a little bit after a long day. I've been staring at a screen for 6 hours. So when you stare at a screen for 6 hours and you take 5 minutes to get some peanut butter, you get a little loopy, right? And the last piece I always give advice too is if you do media, do it your own way. Do it, be yourself, and try to own your own stuff. That way you can have some complete creative control, and it's freeing. And try to be successful. They can't shut you up. They just can't. They won't shut me up. And they can't. I tried. Any Z sightings at all? Cutting Jackson Meeks is a disaster, but cutting Nate Lynn helps. It's a problem. Now, here's the thing. If Meeks clears waivers, if they chance that he comes back, that's going to be key. So we still have time for Za'Darius. If Meeks comes back and he's on the practice squad, which we'll find out starting at noon tomorrow, when these waiver stuff picks up, if Meeks is on this team, I have to believe Za'Darius comes. They want to do it their whole lives. He wants to play with Unc. Think of the meeting. Jackson Meeks, Uncle Za'Darius, and Uncle Doc. 3 great minds talking some junk. We'll have some fun. Your favorite uncle has a preview. Quarterback Kyle McCord to the Lions. Write it down. You heard it here first. I'll credit you. Your favorite uncle. So I feel there was nothing more Meeks could have done to make the roster. If that's the case, why pay him, what they paid him to come to camp? I thought it was 200. Yeah, it was 200, 250. It was high. It was a good number. Man, guys, we're almost there. We're almost at 1,000 people. That's awesome. Smash the like button between two platforms. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey everyone, it's Kate.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, guys. And like I said, I don't think you can keep 7 receivers. I don't know. I mean, I put that, but I don't know if you can keep 7 receivers logistically and honestly. Hey, Eric, thank you. You did it. You're free now. Listen, we will not talk bad about you. We'll wait 6 minutes and then we cleared 1,000 people. Thank you, guys. Humbly. I have to take a picture of this. Man, that's nice. I did a little retweet, so I got to take a picture of this. Thank you, guys. That's really nice. Wow. I'm humbled by it. I thought I was an untrustworthy guy. Man, I'm almost crying over here. 1,000 people on a Monday during Raw. That means a lot to me. It really does. Eric Taylor, $20 super chat. Man, that's really nice. That's really nice, Eric. Thank you. That means that's really is the most humbling thing you can do is say, hey, we like what you're doing. We're watching you. We're trying to watch 2 things at the same time when you have another show. Listen, humbly, watch them. Those guys, every click matters way more than it will for me. Please watch them. They're good guys. Go blow up, tell people about them. I'm living the dream. I've lived the dream. I've reached the mountaintop. I'm on the other side. I can't wait one day to tell the story so that other people can try to follow it. I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm bringing down the world of sports media. I feel like I'm just going to add my little slice. $20, Eric Taylor, super fan. Thank you for being in our community, bro. That means a lot to me. It really does. I wouldn't do this without you guys. $10 from Matt N. Doc, Skip being the first offensive lineman to be cut. Oh, Matt tells me he's coming back. They have a deal in place for him to return. Also, with all the injuries in San Francisco, I wouldn't be surprised if Meeks ends up a 49er. Now, Matt, I'm going to give you the utmost respect because you gave me $10. I humbly have to correct you because you did what the prideful guys did. Technically, he was the second because I reported at Detroit Podcast at 4:45, Mason Miller, the combo guard tackle, was released. Me. I put in the work. I have the relationship. I'm aware of the comings and goings of Mr. Mason Miller from North Dakota State. So I reported that. I know you didn't see it because I'm not that loud. That's why I was starting the podcast saying, hey, why didn't anybody else document that? See, Mason Miller was on the team and then he's been released. I brought you that information. Me, nobody else. Now, again, he was a long shot, but he's very talented. He worked his way, to the Lions as an undrafted free agent, got an opportunity, was in camp the whole time. They didn't replace him, and I think he's got a shot to be on the practice squad. So technically, Skip was the second. I know the others, may not view different players in a different way, but I did. I wanted to know about Mason Miller's story. So that's how I start. Don't let me do what others do to talk to agents. Don't let me. I just have found that takes too much time, and I like talking to agents that are real, normal. You can't have a high ego podcaster and a super high ego lawyer in the same room. We're going to have issues. I like normal, down to earth people, and that's who I text. But yeah, go ask Pride of Detroit why they haven't put Mason Miller on their tracker yet. They're 5 hours late. Can you trust them if they skip people? If they don't follow one of the beat writers that's there? I'm not gonna say it. Okay, let me say it better. Can you trust them if they skip a podcaster that's there? They skip me. They are not informed. That's a big omission. But now to your point. With all the injuries, I wouldn't be surprised if Meeks ends up a 49er. He's going to have calls. It's one of those deals. I think he'll have a choice. But I think the Lions can make that choice better, too, by tomorrow calling Za'Darius. Za'Darius belongs here. They cut Nate Lynn. It tells me that's why I cut Nate Lynn on my 53 for Za'Darius. I do think Skip's coming back, as well as Mason Miller. And hopefully, if Mason Miller comes back, I will also be the person to tell you that. So actually, I'm kind of hoping they double dip it. They skip over the fact that I report he's not on the team anymore, and then they skip it when I say he's on the practice squad. Let's see if they do that. Cut Meeks for Z to come back. I'm down for that. Now, Meeks could end up on the practice squad. I do think that if you have Meeks on the practice squad, Za'Darius comes. Oh, God. I can't, man. The numbers here are growing. There's almost 1,100 people in here. I'm blown away. The more that keep hopping in, the more I'm going to keep talking. This is great. I feel good. I got a lot of energy. I feel good. This energizes me. This makes me feel good. I love podcasting. I would do it if it was free. I think you guys know Detroit Sports Podcast started in 2013. Kevin gets in. I like Hefe, although a rookie, and you got to listen to Boomer. Those guys are great. Dude, they literally stood up and cheered for me as I was walking. Those guys are really nice, down-to-earth people. How did I infect their brains? I feel bad, but I've given them good advice, humbly. But Hefe jumped ship right away. The second he smelled that journalism, he jumped ship right away. The objectivity. He was just fiending for the objectivity. I just need it. I need it. He was fiending for it. Like, hey, man, relax. You can add some spice to it. It's okay. Love it. I'm going to go watch. Love it. Look what we've done. Oh, I love it. I love it. Good, Booner. And that's what Booner does, too. Booner doesn't, stop. He's got my debate style, which I like. That's why, I'll be honest with you guys. When I went on his show last Wednesday, I knew I was going to get trounced in the opinion poll, but I went solely for the purpose of just sharing the Michigan State opinion and to piss off Booner. That was it. To just know that it would, to know eventually I was going to call him a Walmart, eventually to know we were going to yell at each other, I felt was going to be fun for the show. And I think he learned a little bit, and we got to have a real discussion, which is cool. Those are the people I want to talk to. I go on the shows of people I want to talk to. Matt, you can go play referee over there. There's almost 1,100 people here. This is amazing. Thank you. Tell them calm down. Yeah, that's one thing, though, right? He did the same thing to me. Oh, you guys are great. All right. We hit on some roster stuff. We've hit on Meeks, Skipper, Nate Lynn. Is Nate Lynn going to concern you? I don't think so. I find that he will find a way potentially also to be on the practice squad or get an opportunity somewhere else. I think there's 19. I think there's about 15 more cuts to make. I'm reporting right now what I know as to be 19 cuts with 34 decisions to start. So around 15 more. It's pretty straightforward. I think we're going to know pretty quickly tomorrow. They'll just announce all of them tomorrow. That's a good question. We'll hit that tomorrow. Tomorrow, that will be one of the topics. We've done previews. but that might be a good morning topic. Skipper, I think Mason Miller. Those are the two linemen. Meeks, 3. Hallett, good players. Whiteside, Kennelly, that's 5, 6. Yeah, over 50% of the cuts have been made. Only 15 more to go. Yeah, most of them I think have been made. They'll announce them all tomorrow. Steve, who's Booner? They do Crunch Time Sports every Wednesday, Booner, at 8:45 on Crunch Time Sports. Similar to here at YouTube, you type in Crunch Time Sports. They've interviewed me for an hour. They actually an hour and a half almost every Wednesday. They just give me the floor to just talk. And the nicest people, the two nicest people, and their crew, nice people. They started at Woodward Sports. They weren't treated fairly. They didn't recognize the talent that those two guys have. And they had a falling out a little bit, and they started their own thing, and they're crushing it. And they're nice people. They're genuinely nice people. But we now have complaints. Hefe started his own podcast with the collective, with journalists. And the second that he got a whiff of journalism, he forgot to properly include my valid takes. Which was, on day one, I was scared about Hendon Hooker. Day one of OTAs this year. But he was reading others saying, Hendon is getting better. Groupthink is toxic. Groupthink is toxic. That's why I'm the lone wolf. I just talk to myself and you guys. Tony G, they give you the red carpet over there at Crunch Time, which is how I learned about you. They indeed are great guys. Wonderful, nice people. And smart broadcasters. Those are the people you gravitate towards that have an opinion, want to share it, and get after it. They're nice people. And they give me an hour and a half of, and they encourage me to do this. I was always just thought a voice. I never wanted to put a face. I mean, look at it. One of you guys told me, man, you're all forehead. Stop going on here. I said, I know, I'm battling. I'm holding on to the last hairs possible. I'm holding on. But they encourage me. And also always shout out Lion Syndicate. Shout out Will. You motivate me. But for a different reason. I respect everybody that's in the space. We all have our different lanes. But Lion Syndicate was the most direct. He said, listen to your podcast. I know you like audio, but you need to be on YouTube and just do it. You will be fine. I said, man, that's not my jam. I'm just an untrustworthy internet guy. Typing away. He's like, just do it. Just do it. I said, all right, Syndicate. I put him on my podcast. Now you guys go to Syndicate and say, figure out how to get a guest and return the favor. Because I like talking to him. The Syndicate has bold take. Now, he was a little bit braggadocious about Broderick, but everybody has their own swagger. But I like different opinions. I am not a group thinker in any way. I listen to everybody's opinion and then I formulate my own. That's good. We got to listen to the yellers. And also remind him, do not go to any games. He was the reason they lost in 23. He went to the game in San Francisco and they lost. Tell him stop going. All right. So, again, to recap, thank you for sticking with it. It's over almost to 1,200. Man, oh my goodness. Again, I did this podcast without plugging in. Let me plug in the battery. That's good. You can keep going. Man, 90 minutes. And thank you guys for the distractions. It's a pleasure. So again, guys, have confidence. I think the roster is going to be fine. When you look at that first 53, it'll change. It'll ever change. They might make moves on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, Brad Holmes, I'll get out of here on this. Brad Holmes talks this week. What should we ask about? Should we ask about Broderick and Hendon or the roster? What do you think is the most impactful question you guys want to know? What do you guys want to know about Brad Holmes and how he justifies the roster? How Jackson Meeks, what's been happening so far? What is your interest level in what the general manager of the team has to say? Yeah, listen, easiest way, Eric Taylor. I hope you have X at Detroit Podcast. That's the easiest way. I see that all the time. Emails, bro, I'm getting a lot of emails. Just go to X, start something on the side if you don't have one. Just go to X, start one small account, and just go to at Detroit Podcast. What do you want to know from Brad Holmes? There's so much to comment on this show. What do you think about the roster moves made today? I didn't want to wait till Thursday. Some wanted to wait. Why? We could talk today. Why would you ever wait when you have a chance to spend, even if it's just half an hour, to say, hey, here's what I think about Jackson Meeks. Here's what I think about Skipper. I know that there's more information that can be surmised, but we still have a chance to talk today. So, and I had some opinions on it. I feel like the developmental picks were a setback to the organization. They just were. You could have Puka Nacua. You could have Puka Nacua and Isaac Tesla and Amon-Ra and J-Mo. It could have happened. But I know the depth at the time and things like that. Is there a player now that you are clamoring that they need to keep? Are you guys upset they let go of Tom Kennedy? I always find a segment of people that are like, why Tom Kennedy? I'm like, he's brought in for camp for just to show, hey, this guy tries and is getting a little bit better every opportunity. Every camp he's had, he's gotten a little bit better than the camp before. Tom Kennedy should be on the practice squad. Tom Kennedy should be a guy that I think the Lions look at is to say, just not top 53, but 55 through 69. He's the top 69 player in the Lions' thought process. I believe it. I think that a guy like that deserves chances and opportunities to kick in a couple games, couple game checks for how hard he works, to keep trying to get they see something in him. They see the grit. Maybe people are saying he's not trustworthy, and they see something. He keeps coming back and trying. And eventually he gets some game checks. He's on the roster. Matt, the question I would have for Brad is, given the depth needs during the 2023 draft, what did you learn about the second half of that draft? Oh, you want to hit him right on the draft? Oh. Man, I don't know if I could ask that. It's good, though. Eric can't pull away. Thank you. It's crazy watching you on my phone and watching Crunch Time. Hey, that's awesome. Pat has a point. Pat O'Boyle. Brad took 5 starters in 23. In the 2023 draft, no way they could afford to pay a 6th or 7th. Yeah, the green pick is probably not the one that's going to hurt anything. It's the 3. Sorsdahl, Broderick Martin, and Hendon Hooker. That's just going to be, those are the 3 picks that are going to be impactful and talked about. And I think Eric hits on the big point of why you do this. There's 1,200 people here on a Monday giving me energy. I think you guys get the point that I'm just a real guy that probably is worthy of some trust. You don't have to like me. I don't care if you like me at all. I have enough friends. I have enough family. I'm Middle Eastern. But what you clamor for is at least, hey, the respect level that, hey, you don't have to like me, but you can't ignore me. Because I'm one of the loud ones that will say, hey, you're ignoring me. Hey, don't do that. That's not respectful. Doc, you're the best, from Eric Taylor. I watch you every day. I watch Crunch Time Sports every day. I watch Lions Syndicate every day. I'm a hardcore Lions fan. I just want info, and you all bring it to me. That's what it is. I feel like that's what the podcast did for me as an audio voice, was just bring a connection to the people. And now when you see me and you say, okay, you match the voice with the face, you guys go, all right, we got to deal with that face, but we'll let him talk. He knows stuff and he's willing to share it and he's nice. And I think you believe there's a little bit of entertainment to this, that the purpose of it all is to use anything that you find that you need for a little extra motivation to use it. But I probably should find something new, because the media thing and the not tagging me thing it's old and silly. But I have new things. Don't worry. I found new things. I found a lot of new things, actually. Mr. Macaroon, we find that your broadcast is not very professional. Shove it. Go somewhere else. Great question, Kevin. How are they going to practice against mobile quarterbacks? Oh, does that mean he's going to come back to the practice squad? Oh, man. Yeah, they need athletic. Allen's a little athletic. He can move, but he's not super fast. That's a good question. With all the mobile quarterbacks you're going to face, do you feel like an addition might be needed? Who can do that job? Might be Khalif Raymond. Might be somebody mobile to do the job. Jay Cruz is Middle Eastern. Shout out to the Middle Easterns. And we run hot temper too. We're emotional. Pisces run emotional. Man, yeah. Don't be a Pisces and don't be like me. Yeah, I think we're still at 19 cuts. You guys now are the last 90 minutes have been tasked. The only one I think Justin Rogers reported was Zach Johnson. I think everybody else said they got their fill of reporting. They're like, we're off the clock. But again, go make sure, really in the end, in the name of journalism, isn't journalism about being factual? Guys, go over to Pride of Detroit and tell them, you guys are off by one. It's inappropriate to be off by one for 5 hours in a high, in an NFL world where there's some highly profile, visible people. Can't skip me. So go tell them, hey, you missed Mason Miller. Let me just check real fast because I'm petty like that. Oh, and I think I told you, they were the ones that made their list and didn't put me on it. But thank you. Again, thank you. Here it is. Let's see. Let's be petty real fast. They'll put internet guy. My internet's slow, of course. Internet guy. Man, and maybe at the very least, they could just lie and say, our bosses will refuse to let us put a competitor like you on our site. They still are inaccurate. They are inaccurate. Their tracker that you guys say you trust has been inaccurate for the whole time. So you can trust them, but they're off by one. They are inaccurate. As a journalist, podcaster, troll, I feel the need to let them know they've been off by one this whole time. It's inappropriate. I do, don't I? I got tan this summer, bro. My man, the Chutta shitster is you. I love it. This guy right here also helped me out. Humbly. I went to him and said, hey, got to pick up the game here. I know my stuff is self-made. I got to pick it up. He's like, we can do some things. Maybe. We'll see. A guy you can talk to and have some good chats with. Shout out to this guy, AB. That's talent. That's talent. My goodness. I'm just having fun. I'm enjoying it. 1,200 people in here on a Monday. What the heck happened? How the heck are 1,200 people on 2 platforms watching this guy talk nonsense about the Lions and complain that journalism people are not wanting and carefully crafting their job to be accurate? The hypocrisy that kills me. It's because I'm a psychologist. That nasty brain that goes, you can't proclaim yourself to be a fact seeker when you just wipe out a fact. You just can't. Doc, who do you think the next 5 to drop tomorrow are? Let's look here. Pop, pop, pop. I think Nice will be one. Let's look to. I know Miles Adams has been cut already. I don't know if Chris Smith, Keith Cooper. Chris Smith might battle for a spot if they. It might be, you know what? Keith Cooper might get cut, and they might give the job to Chris Smith. That's the guy. He does his job, professional, mild manner, gets a little better. They know what they get in him. I think he might make the team. I don't know if Maurice Norris will make the team. That'll be a name to watch. And offensively, let's look here. Hendon was already out. Sailors and Deion Jackson are already out. You took care of them. Ronnie Bell, listen, he went to Michigan. He's getting cut. Malik Taylor, they're probably getting cut. Zach Horton, Steven Stelianos, you guys can keep track. Those are the two names I think would be cut along with Gunnar Oaks has been cut. So Horton and Stelianos potentially will be cut. Nice. I reported Mason Miller yet again. Ukwu, I think will. I mean, do they give him a chance to start the roster? I don't think so. Those are some names right there that you'll see. You know, let's see what else. They did let go of Miles Adams today. I had a feeling that would be the case. I think Chris Smith makes the team. Pittman, Deron Gilbert probably gets cut. Alan George. So if you guys replay it, humbly replay it, and how many names? Tyson Russell, DJ Miller. Those are 8, 9, 10 names right there. We're hitting real close to the number. Yeah, let's give a shout out. Adam and Jeff were a great show. They interviewed me too. What's wrong with these people? In the morning. Nice people. To share their knowledge with somebody they didn't have to was amazing. What's great is when you have a new venture, it's fun. It's freeing. Like I said, I did this for a long time. I just never put a video to it, never do it live. I like to record. I've taken a back seat to editing. I like just doing it live, and whatever happens, happens. Now, I am prone to talk about myself a little bit too much, but I'll cut that out. This is more fun. But I think what you guys are noticing is I use it to help you guys with motivation. The idea is take anything that you find to be distasteful and use it to better your life. That's all. And again, too, and I just wonder why. Why would you ignore it? It's factual. It's about the Lions. It's an offensive lineman on the third team. It's there publicly. I don't think I'm shadow banned on the internet. Is it because I didn't use per sources? I put per knowledge. Do you need me to be supposed to be so specific as to where I got it from that you'll acknowledge it? Come on. Go tell them. Just go tell them, hey, you guys have been inaccurate. You're missing one. Derek, my man. This guy's unique too. Derek's podcast is good. I used your article on the pod today, Doc. You demand. Drink it in. That's my favorite is I'll be watching some shows and they'll be like, look at this. And they'll just have my website up. That really means a lot to me. That's acknowledging it. That's not ignoring it. You don't have to like it. I don't care. You don't have to like it. You have to at least acknowledge it. It's weird. Like I said, I had 18 tabs with every single writer in Detroit open. Refreshing, learning. I don't know. But they wonder why that field is dipping a little bit. It's because of stuff like that, guys. That's the secret. Your field dips is because you do stuff like that. Professionals. Be professional and report what's the facts. Can go down that road real fast. Doc, I've done the journalism thing covering politics. Good luck with that. You always have to lead with according to anonymous sources who choose not to speak on the record. No. I told you the way I wanted to say it. Somebody who knew. I'm trying to establish trust, and I don't like that word. I just say somebody knew something and told it to me, and I'm telling it to you. Just the facts. Trust it or not. You can't ignore it because then I'm just going to start screaming it. And wink, wink, I might start screaming it from a lot bigger platforms. Should I choose? I'm a nice guy. I have a family, though. I can't keep working 5-6 more jobs, but I keep pursuing them. It's fun. Don't let me become bigger than this. This is just fine. I like my lane. We're almost going on 2 hours, guys. It hasn't dipped off. You guys are crazy. You guys are legit crazy. You guys are hardcore Lions fans. I love it. Absolutely. That's the whole key, Derek. Follow Derek. Make sure you guys follow all the podcast creators. They all got something to say. They all got opinions. They all got something to bring to the table. Appreciate the shout out, Doc, from Derek. Keep up the great work. Always informative and entertaining. Let's go. That's right. That's the hope. That's the whole vision. Informative and entertaining. Now, you could argue some of the entertaining part, but hell, it's basically like a therapy session for me. Just let out what's in my head, talk about the Lions. It's not work. It's just relaying information and talking about and asking questions that I know you guys want to talk about. And also, you guys help me. You give me the perspective of how you're thinking, and most of the time it's somewhat aligned. I'm very happy. Now we have differences, but I get the Meeks. I get what you're saying. There's a little bit of panic that Meeks is a bigger receiver, stronger, and gets after it. 2 hours, I know. By myself. Could I do 2 hours by myself regularly? Maybe. 2 hours, show some more love for the doc, for Dr. Football. $5 super chat. Tony G. Thank you guys. All you can do is ask, like, subscribe, hit the notification. Tony G, my man, thank you for all the support. Eric Taylor, that's really nice. I'll just leave it up there. That's really nice. Yeah, the passion. I like doing this. I'm going to stay on all day, right? I'm just going to be like, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream and get after it. Listen, there's a lot more better people that can do that have built up big networks. I'd be like, I have like 5 people that would come on the show and that will be it. They're like, we love you. We'll give you money. We can't talk to you. We do not know what you're going to say. But in the end, here's what I'm about. I sponsored Vito's charity event from the time that I was able to, supporting from the podcast. Money that I earned from the podcast, I've given it to Vito. And this year, for his dad and the Kidney Foundation, he raised a record $16,500 on a softball game. Man, you know how good that feels? That feels good, and I'm happy to report it. I know he did. He emailed it, so I think it's public knowledge. The kid is super nice and getting after it. $16,500 raised so that the Kidney Foundation of Michigan has funds to learn about the disease and to help people. So I'm happy, man. Vito's cool. So yeah, if I can stay on till 4 and it keeps growing, it's crazy. There's 1,200 of you here. It's crazy. And it seemed like it slowed down a little bit. The timing worked perfect. I'm thinking if I do a live show, it might be 4 o'clock. The problem is Monday. Dan talks around that time during game week. I'm thinking 7 o'clock also works pretty nice, but I'm going to go long. I don't want to run into Booner and Hefe. I don't want to compete with them. I want them to thrive. I don't want them to crush me. So 4 o'clock maybe is the time I'm thinking about regularly for an hour here and there, 3-4 days a week, maybe 5. I don't know. I'm liking this. There's no harm. So we'll see. The Doc 24/7. Just stay on. Become a streamer, a real streamer, just all the time, just 8 hours. Just, okay, here's what I think today. Here's what I'm looking at right now. Here's who I'm mad at. Okay, I'll leave with this. I only had really one small complaint from today. Dan Campbell was never going to say the roster wasn't great. I felt like they could have asked a little bit more direct about Za'Darius or a position. But Dan Campbell was always going to praise the roster, always going to praise Brad Holmes. But he's actually right. The roster is in the best spot it's been. Truly, in the best spot it's been. The 53 is going to look good. There will be depth questions at a couple spots for sure. Corner and offensive line. Those will be the questions. Those are key questions. I think they'll start to answer it with some of the waiver picks. I have to feel like offensive line and defensive line and cornerback will be areas to target. And clearly defensive end. There will be question marks. And Dan said it, which I thought was actually lovely, is that he knows there's holes. And Matt says defensive end. Last 5 minutes, Dan said in his talk, I like where we're at. We're the most complete we've been as a team, but we got holes like everybody else. But he said the Lions have holes. Where are they? Offensive line, cornerback, defensive line. Linebacker's pretty straightforward. I think they like what they got with Stewart and Cunningham. And, let's see. I think there's one more. I think they got to keep 6 linebackers. And Trevor Nowaski. Cornerback, depth, and offensive line. That could be key. They have to shore that up. All right. My time should be up. I don't want to say anything too much more. But like I said, there has been a travesty, an injustice of epic proportions. If you're going to do a tracker, at least track accurately. Tracker, track accurately. Try to track accurately. And the more you ignore me, the louder I get. And the louder I get, the bigger the platform I will have. I have offers on the table, but I can't work anymore. I'm working my ass off. But the blessing is I've been wanted. That's all I ever wanted. And I don't know if I could commit. But I'm happy people want this. I'm very happy. Good times. That's the time I went an extra hour. Good Lord. The problem is going to be I want to do an hour show, but there's got to be some talk for motivation. There's got to be some trolling. There's got to be some entertainment. So I don't know, maybe 90 minutes on average, twice a week, maybe. That's all I can ask for is your trust. And in the end, that's the secret. I never sought the trust of colleagues. I sought the trust of the people. That's the secret. But now, when you have that already, as a human, you would like the basic level acknowledgement of the work you do. Basic. Like, you don't have to cite me. You don't have to credit me. You can lie. You can just call. You don't even have to call my name. We all know where it came from. I'm going to tell you here. But if you're going to do the job properly, you got to be accurate. And if you have a tracker and you left Mason Miller's name off of it all day, you're not accurate. And that is poor journalism. And that is not appropriate in my book. The Lions won't practice again until Monday. Or maybe this week, but we won't know about it. This week is a beautiful week. It's just reporting on the roster. It's reporting on the roster. And we talked to Brad Thursday. There may be some light work once the roster's set up, but we won't talk till game week, baby. That's it, guys. There's no more insight, practices. Here's 10 minutes and get out. Watch some stretching and get out. You get 8 minutes. Count the players and get out. Guys, it's game week. Guys, next week is game week. Labor Day. Am I right? Next week, Monday, is Labor Day. And we go to the Packers on Sunday, 4 o'clock. Nothing this Sunday. You go to next Sunday, it's football. Here we go. And then it gets wild. Who are these 1,200 people watching this? I'm very happy and humbled that you guys would trust me. The proof's in the pudding. I mean, you guys have shown through the work that you do and watching the videos and engaging and sharing, I've earned your trust. Now that I've got that, just want a little bit of more from the hardcores. That's all. That's all right. Am I fair? Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. All right. Peace and love. Have a great Monday. It's 9 o'clock. Go make fun of crunch time. Take half the audience here and go over there. Smash the like button. And let's get the particulars out of the way. si.com/NFL/Lions at Detroit Podcast. You can visit here, the YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment what you like, what you don't like, what areas I should hit tomorrow. Tomorrow will be similar, maybe a little earlier because I feel like the roster should be done by 6-7, and we'll join again next week. But again, too, in the comments, you can always be like, hey, I need you to hit on this tomorrow, and I will look at it and address it. And the biggest thing I'm proud of, I responded to 99.9% of the comments these 40 days. I read them all. I read every one, and I responded to 99.9%. It's a lot. Thanks for keeping me in the mix. Thank you humbly for tuning in. This is the Lone Wolf, seriously. The Detroit Lions on SI Lone Wolves podcast. Let's talk tomorrow. Have some fun, have some laughs, and be accurate. Tell the truth. Be committed to the facts, people.